Hello friends, welcome back to MS Technologies. So we are going to start new online batch for Django with real-time project. So the batch is going to start from 19th November 2020, evening 6 p.m. IST. To attend for this batch, what are the prerequisites? So you guys should have basic knowledge on Python concepts, and you guys should have basic knowledge on HTML and CSS. You guys should have basic knowledge on database also, so then you guys can attend for this course. As part of this batch, what I am going to discuss, first I will start with the Django framework. Here around more than 20 topics we are going to cover. More than 20 topics we are going to cover in this Django framework batch. Here what we are going to discuss, the first topic we are going to discuss, introduction to web development. Here I am going to explain what is web application. So in web application development, what are the main components we have? To develop those components, what technologies we need to use? All those things we are going to discuss. Next topic, introduction about Django. We have several Python related web frameworks are available. Several Python related frameworks are available. Among all those frameworks, why Django is this much popular? Why people are preferring Django framework only among all those frameworks we are going to discuss. So next we are going to discuss Django setup. Here, I think at the time of working with Python, so there to develop the application, Python application, we used notepads, notepad plus plus, edit plus, Jupyter, like that, several things we used to develop our Python applications. But coming to web application development, we required some special IDEs. What IDEs are required? Like PyCharm, Atom, Visual Studio, these kind of IDEs are required to develop web applications. Here we are going to discuss how to install those IDEs and how to set up Django. All these things we are going to discuss it here. So next topic, first web application development. Here I am going to explain how to develop the web application. In that, what are the components are there, and once you create the project, right, what is the folder structure, what files you will get inside that project folder. Once you create the application inside the project, what files you will get, what is the advantage of each and every file, that we are going to discuss very clearly at here. Complete folder structure, what files you will get inside that folder structure, everything, what is the purpose of each and every file, everything we are going to discuss it here. So next important topic is MVT architecture. Here Django follows MVT architecture. MVT in the sense model view template. Model view template. We have MVC architecture also, model view controller architecture. Here I am going to discuss what is MVT architecture, what is the difference between MVC and MVT architecture, we are going to discuss it here. So next topic, very important topic, which is Django Views. Right here, just now we discussed. So once you create the application inside the project, so there you will get several Python related files. Several Python files you will get. In that, one special file is there, which is views.py file. Views.py file. Inside that views.py file, we are going to write business logic. We are going to write business logic. So now here in Django Views topic, I am going to explain how to write the business logic inside views. How many ways we can write the business logic inside views.py file. All these things we are going to discuss it here. So next topic is Django Templates. Right. So inside templates, what is the template we are going to discuss, and what is the template tags we are going to discuss, and how to inject the data from views.py file to HTML file we are going to discuss. Everything we are going to discuss it here. Finally, inside templates, we are going to take HTML files. Inside templates, we are going to take HTML files. Right, inside that HTML file, I need to inject the data which are coming from right database and all those things. And right, how to inject that data, how to display a form to the user, and all those things we are going to discuss it here. Right. So next topic, static files. Django static files. And so now here we are going to discuss how to work with static files. Static files in the sense what? Images, CSS files, and all those things will come under static files. Now here I am going to explain how to take CSS files, how to add that CSS link inside our HTMLs, how to add images inside our HTMLs. All those things we are going to discuss it here. So next one is Django forms. Right. While developing web applications, these forms concepts are very, very important. Very, very important. If you go for Gmail, first what we need to do, we need to create the account in Gmail. To create the account in Gmail, what we required? We required form. Sign up form is required. Sign up form is required. And if you want to log in into the Gmail, what we required? Login form must be required. Right, with those forms, what we are doing, we are collecting user providing information. We are going to collect user provided information by using those forms. Once you collect the data, you can do the process. Whatever the operations you want to do with that data, we can do that. Before doing those operations, we need to collect the data which is providing by user. How you can able to grab that data? By using Django forms and Django model forms. We are going to collect user providing information. Next one is template inheritance. So you guys know in Python we discussed inheritance concept. Inheritance concept. So there what we discussed, whatever the things are available in parent, all those things by default will come to child through inheritance. Whatever the things are available in parent class, all those things will come to child classes also through inheritance. Here, template in the sense what? Template in the sense HTMLs. Inside this template, we have HTMLs only. Inheritance. Right here, inheritance concept we are going to use in templates also. Right, we have base.html means one parent HTML is there and some child HTMLs also is there. So now in each HTML file, whatever the common code is required, so that common code I am going to take inside one file which is parent.html file, and all my child HTMLs are going to extend that parent HTML. Automatically that common code will be inherent to each and every child HTMLs from parent. Instead of writing that common code in each and every HTML file, I am going to take that common code into a separate HTML, and remaining HTMLs are going to extend that HTML file. So automatically that common code will be inherited to each and every child HTML. So template inheritance we are going to discuss with practicals. Next, template filters. Right. After getting the data from the database, for one person I want to display in one format, another person I want to display same data I want to represent in multiple forms. After getting the data from the database, same data, if you want to represent in multiple ways, multiple styles, then we need to go for this filters concept. We need to go for this filters concept. Here we are going to discuss how to use predefined filters and how to create customized filters also we are going to discuss it here. How to create customized filters also we are going to discuss it here. So next topic is, right, so if you go for a web application, client and server communication is there. Whenever you submit the request, right, whenever client submit the request, that request will go to the server. Here what is happening, client and server both are communicating each other. For communication purpose, here client and server communication purpose, here they are using HTTP protocol. but that HTTP protocol is a stateless protocol. So server can't able to remember the previous request information. There is no storage at server side. There is no storage at server side. So server can't able to remember all previous request informations. Server will treat every request as a fresh request, new request only. But in web application, compulsory server should remember all previous request information also. How server can able to recollect that information? By using session managements. Session management with the cookies, session management with the Django session API, all these things we are going to discuss it here. So next topic is user authentication and authorization. User authentication and authorization. And authentication in the sense what? User validity. Checking user validity. User is the valid person or not. Authorization in the sense what we are going to do here, permissions, and we are going to check the permissions, right? User have the permission to delete the data, user have the permission to edit the data, user have the permission to access any page, right? Those kind of permissions we are going to check it here. User authentication and authorization, right? Here we are going to do one mini project kind of thing at here. User authentication and authorization, here we are going to do one small mini project at here. After that, we are going to discuss class-based views. Right, inside views.py file, we can write the business logic in two ways. One is functional based reviews, another one is class based reviews. Right, here we are going to discuss how to write the business logic by using class based reviews. After completing the CRUD operations, here also we are going to do two mini projects. CRUD operations using functional based reviews, CRUD operations using class based reviews. Right, here we are going to do two mini projects. CRUD means what? Creating the data inside the database, retrieving the data from the database, updating the data inside the database, deleting the data from the database. Right, all these operations we are going to perform by using functional based reviews. All these operations we are going to perform by using class based reviews also. So here we are going to do two mini projects also at here and with this CRUD operations. Okay, so next topic what we are going to discuss. Next topic is Django ORM, object relational mapping. And this is one of the important topic. Right here we are going to see the mappings and how to filter the data. Suppose, right, instead of getting complete data from the database, based on right ID I want to get the data, based on names I want to get the data, right? I want to apply some filters at here, and I want to apply some filters to fetch the data from the database. And here I want to see by using ORM how to create the data, how to create bulk records inside the database, how to delete, how to update, and union operations, intersection operations, several things we are going to discuss at here in this ORM, object relational mapping. Right, we are going to spend a lot of time on this ORM. Right, after completing this ORM, I'm going to discuss Django model inheritance concept. Right, we have more, right, if you model, what model will talk, and the model always will talk about database and database. Right, here how we have inheritance concept at Python, how we have inheritance concept at templates, the same way at a model classes level also we have inheritance concept. We are going to discuss everything at here. Right, what is the parent model class, what is the child model classes, right? How the parent model class related things will come to child model classes, right? All those things we are going to discuss it here. So next important topic is middleware. Middleware, and what is the use of this middleware? Right, before processing the request or after processing the request, if you want to perform any activity, before processing the request or after processing the request, if you want to perform any activity, then we need to go for this middleware topic. Then we need to go for this middleware set. Right, so complete middleware, here we can define customized middlewares also. Right, what are the predefined middlewares we have and how to define customized middlewares, everything we are going to discuss it here. So these are the minimum 21 topics we are going to discuss in Django. Right, so these are the minimum topics, and right at the end if required I will add some more topics also. Right, after completing this we are going to start Django REST framework. Django REST framework, and right here I'm going to discuss what is a distributed application, how one application will communicate with another application, how one application is going to communicate another application. We are going to discuss it here. So next, what is API? What is API and what is a REST API? Next, what is the differences between SOAP based services and RESTful services? Next, we are going to discuss mixins concept. This is one of the important concept where we will use mixins and wherever we have multiple inheritance support. There only this mixins concepts will come into the picture. And in Java, we don't have multiple inheritance. And in Java, we don't have multiple inheritance support. So there is no mixins concept in Java. But in Python, from day one onwards, we have multiple inheritance support. So in Python, we have this mixins concept also. In mixins, what we are doing, just whatever the common code, whatever the frequently code is there, whatever the code we are going to use frequently, that code we are going to take inside the mixin, and we are extending our class right from this mixins classes. Right, code reusability purpose we can use this mixins. And in simple word, for code reusability purpose we are going to use this mixins concept. How to use mixins and all those things we are going to discuss. After that, serialization, how to convert the data from one format to other format. To convert the data from one format to other format, we are going to discuss this. We are going to use this serialization concept. Next, exception handling in API. We know how to handle the exceptions in Python. Same way, how to handle the exceptions in API also we need to discuss. Next, JSON object. JSON. Right here, JavaScript object notation. Here, what is this JSON? Right here, we are going to discuss distributed applications. So one application is going to communicate with another application. One application is going to communicate with another application. Right here, maybe that application, one Java application is going to communicate with Python application. Python application is going to communicating with the .NET application, and irrespective of technologies, one application is going to communicate with another application. But assume I have Python application and I have Java application. Right, I have Python and Java application. My Python application is going to communicate with Java application. So Java does not able to understand Python objects, and Python does not able to understand Java objects. Then how they can able to process? Instead of sending Python object, what we are doing, right? We are converting into JSON object and we are sending JSON object to Java application. Instead of sending Java object, we are converting to JSON and we are sending the JSON object to Python object. Python. Right here, JSON is the common message format. Anyone can able to understand. Python application can able to understand JSON. Java also can able to understand JSON. Suppose if Python sends a Python object, Java cannot able to understand. If Java sends Java object, Python cannot able to understand. But this is JSON, anyone can able to understand. How to convert to JSON object, how to access the data from the JSON object, everything we are going to discuss it here. Next, disabling Csrf verification. Right here, wherever we have forms concept, wherever we are going to use form, there compulsory we need to provide the Csrf token for verification purpose, and for security purpose we need to provide one Csrf token. Csrf means cross-site request forgery. Right, if you provide this token, right, other people can't able to forgery our request. Right, but coming to our API, here we don't have front end. Then how you can able to, right? We don't have HTMLs also. Even if you don't have front end, obviously we don't have HTMLs also only. Then how you can able to disable this Csrf verification? If you have HTMLs, then only you can able to provide this token. If you are not providing this token, means right, you can't able to process your request. Right, Django can't process your request. But in our API case, we don't have front end part and we don't have HTMLs. And then how we can able to disable this Csrf verification? How we can able to disable the Csrf verification? For that, three ways we can do, and all those things we are going to discuss it here. Right, after completing that, we are going to discuss the status codes. Here we have HTTP status codes are available. And suppose if you submit the request, sometimes you will get 200, 202, 203, and sometimes you will get 100, sometimes you will get 400, sometimes you will get 500. Like that, different types of status codes are available. We are going to discuss each and every status code. What is the purpose of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all those things at here. So next we have HTTP methods also. Here, Right, while working with these APIs, so these HTTP methods are very, very important. And suppose if you want to fetch the data, we need to go for this get method. If you want to insert the data, then we need to go for post method. If you want to update the data, then we need to go for put method. If you want to delete the data, then we need to go for delete methods. And so these are the HTTP methods. And right, in web application development, sorry, in API development, these HTTP methods are very, very important. Compulsory, we should have strong knowledge on these HTTP methods. After completing these HTTP methods, we are going to discuss authentication and authorization and how we will perform authentication, what is the basic authentication, what is the token authentication, what is the JWT authentication, what are the predefined authorization classes are available, each and everything we are going to discuss at here. Right. After completing this authentication authorization, we are going to use some tools. And now here we don't have front end and we don't have front end. So how we can able to perform testing and how we can able to check our API is working properly or not. Right here, multiple ways are there, and DRF is providing, Django REST framework is providing browsable API. By using that browsable API, we can able to test, and by using partner application we can develop one partner application, and by using that partner application we can able to test. And right, third parties are providing some tools, third party people are providing some tools. By using those third party tools also we can test our API is working properly or not. And here Postman is one of the third party tool, and Postman is one of the third party tool. Most of the people, and irrespective of the technology, most of the people will use this Postman to test APIs are working properly or not. Right, Java people, .NET people, Python people, everyone will use this Postman only to test our APIs are working properly or not. Right, so these are the things we are going to discuss in REST API. Right, after that we are going to develop one small, right, one real time kind of one project also. And right, either anything, right, e-commerce related or any website, one real time complete things we are going to develop in one project. And right, by using Django framework, Django and Python and Django, we are going to develop one real time project also at here. And so you guys will get complete knowledge on that project. And right, so total duration of this course is maximum 2 months it will take. And right, so if possible I will try to complete a little bit early by taking the classes. All right, we'll take the classes on Saturdays, weekends also, and I will try to complete little bit early, but maximum it will take 2 months of duration. If you guys have interest to attend for this batch, here contact number is there, 9538535217. You can send message on WhatsApp also for this. The batch is going to start from 19th November 2020, 6 p.m. IST onwards. And thank you guys.